everyone, and welcome to my channel. In this video, I'm going to show you how I make the Feed the Fish activity for BusyBook. I'm going to make 10 copies of that Feed the Fish activity, so I'm going to go get the material and I will show you what I do. Now, some of you may have not seen the Feed the Fish activity page before, so for your reference, this is what it looks like when it's all finished. There are no detachable pieces, and children can push the little beads around and feed the fish. So first things first, I've already got it all designed and set up on my Cricut design space, and I have it set up so that I can quickly and easily make 10 sets of this Feed the Fish with just doing 4 cuts. So you'll see me do 2 blue cuts for the fish fins and tail, and then 2 cuts in pink for the fish's body. Having these templates set up the way that I do, you can see it here on my Cricut. It's really the key to being able to make these activities really quickly and efficiently in bulk. And some of you, even after the last video that I posted, asked me if I'd be willing to sell these templates, which I know people on Etsy sell their templates and stuff. If I were to do that, I'd be just selling the ones to help you make them in bulk for your business. So if that's something that you would be interested in, stay tuned. I don't know exactly how I'm going to do it yet, but that's something that I'm going to work on. So if you want to try that, stay tuned and I'll announce it on here at some point. And here you can see me cutting out some square sheets of this really amazing transparent fabric that I have. It's extremely strong. It's normally only available for sale at Christmas, but I bought it discounted after Christmas. You'll see in a minute what I'm going to do with that transparent fabric. And then I'm also taking some cute kind of mermaid scale sparkly fabric, and I'm sewing it into the bodies of all of the fish. And as I'm finishing up sewing that scale fabric in the body of each fish, you're going to see me wrap the transparent fabric around my felt. I'm just going to clip it in place, and I'm going to place the fish on top of the fins, and I'm just going to sew around the body of the fish, leaving that mouth open so that children can push beads into the mouth. Now, normally when I wrap fabric around my felt sheets, I try to wrap it really tight because you don't want any crinkles. But in this case, you can wrap it super loose because you don't want it to be too tight, because otherwise when you put the beads inside, the child, it's not going to be able to move that bead around very easily if it's all wrapped too tight. Please excuse this interruption. After finishing editing this video, I realized I accidentally clipped out an entire step. So before I start putting the beads into that page, which you see me do right before this, first you need to sew that transparent fabric around the border of the felt sheet. So I'm gonna reinsert that right now so you can see me do that and see what it looks like. I'm going to slow it down a little bit here so you can see what I'm doing. I'm going to sew around the whole border so that I'm sewing on that transparent fabric that is wrapped around my felt sheet. I'm being careful not to sew down the fin and the tail of the fish. And when I'm done, I'm going to leave a little gap open so that there is space to put in the beads, which you'll see momentarily. So actually, as I was sewing it on, I kind of bunched it up toward the center so that it was nice and kind of fluffy, and so that there's lots of space inside for the beads to move around. And I didn't sew all the way around. You can see here I'm putting beads inside, so I did leave a little spot open so that I can put the beads in before I sew it all completely closed. So here I am. I'm just using little alphabet beads, all kind of round pieces that are small and very smooth, nothing with sharp corners that could potentially tear the fabric, although the fabric is incredibly strong that I'm using, so I don't think that would happen anyways. And finally, I had this really cute fish scale mermaid tie-dye looking fabric, so I decided to wrap all of my felt sheets in that fabric, and that will be sewn on the back of each page. And then I used my super thick 3mm felt to cut out the binding pieces, and then I just went ahead and put the back on and sewed all the way around and got that gap sewed closed as well so that none of the beads can come out. With that fabric on the back, I only paid $5 a meter for that fabric. Had I had to pay any more, I would not have bothered putting fabric on. I would have just used the felt sheet all by itself. Putting that fabric on is not really expected. It doesn't make or break a customer buying this page, in my opinion, but it's just a really cute surprise when they flip the page over and they see that beautiful design. Okay, the last thing I need to do is hole punch the holes in the binding parts for the binder rings to go through. And then I also hole punched a bunch of black pieces of felt, and I'm just gluing those on for the eyes. And here we have all 10 of the completed Feed the Fish activity page. It looks so cute. So kids can push those little beads into the fish's mouth and they can shake it, flip it over. It's got that beautiful pattern on the back. And I love how the gold kind of shimmers in the sun, like in that viral song, Shimmering in the Sun. You guys know that one? Okay, yeah, they turned out so cute. Love them. Now for the big question, how long did that take me to make those 10 copies of the Feed the Fish? It took me just a few minutes over the 2-hour mark. The cost of materials to make one of these pages is just about $3. That includes all of the fabric, all of the thread, all of the beads, all of the felt. That does include the additional 50 cents I always add on to the cost of every page for accounting for buying new Cricut mats once I wear them out and need to replace them. That $3 does not account for the cost of craft shows. It does not account for a cost covering my sewing machine and my Cricut. So keep that in mind. It does not account for the cost of advertising for my website. I always want to mention that just because I don't want to give the false impression that all of this money that you can make is just purely profit. There are other expenses as well that I'm not including, but just the cost and the materials to make this is $3. And it took me 2 hours to make 10 of them. I charge $9 at a craft show, which means for each of these, I get to keep that $6. So making 10 of these in 2 hours gives me $60, which works out to $30 an hour. I have to mention, if you are new to making busy books and you want to go ahead and start making this, your first time around trying to make this, it's going to take you a lot longer than 2 hours. I have probably made about 30 or 40 of these activity pages before, so I'm really quick. I know exactly what I'm doing and exactly what the next step is. The biggest part of me being able to make it so quickly is the way that I have designed my templates. I've designed them so that I can get the most amount out of the least number of cuts. So it just makes that whole process really quick. If I had to cut it by hand or if I didn't have the templates set up nicely for myself, it would take a lot longer. That's all for today, you guys. If you are enjoying these and you're finding these videos helpful, please make sure you've subscribed to my channel, like the video, drop a comment for me, let me know, give me some feedback. I'm happy to share whatever I know. I'm going to keep trying to film different activity pages as I replenish them for my own craft shows. So as I do those each day, I will try to film it and show you guys how long they take me, what I'm charging for each individual page, and how much I'm making from it. Okay, thanks so much. Mwah, much love, and I will see you in the next video.